For white people, belief in the notion of color blindness meant an end to distinctions of color to describe black people. For them, this was a logical progression, a likely conclusion to the Negro problem through what they considered successful integration into normal culture. Certainly, throughout the 80s and into the 21st century, euphemisms and dog whistles had been successful in getting the racist, white supremacist message across to a racialized nation without uttering skin color in polite company. Liberal and progressive white people could pretend their discomfort and fear was due to the criminal element within urban areas, inner cities, ghettos, welfare queens, drug addicts, and other metaphors and euphemisms designed to hide race as color. The attempt was to turn the color black into race as character, while zeroing in through the system of racism on black people in particular, without having to account for the continuation of racist practices and policies. The effect of changing race as color to race as character helped popularize the term bootstrapping in the 1970s for black people already wounded from generations of discrimination. The genesis of the term traces back as early as 1834, where it was thought to be an impossible task, ludicrous on its face. According to Caroline Bologna, writing for the Huffington Post, to pull yourself up by your bootstraps is actually physically impossible. In fact, the original meaning of the phrase was more along the lines of to try to do something completely absurd. It would seem the impossibility of pulling oneself up by his own bootstraps can be considered oxymoronic, considering its supposed attainability in American discourse today, especially when applied to black people, where the barriers to success were never removed. Race as character, however, allowed for the complete idiocy of the concept to be applied. If one can pull himself or herself up by his or her bootstraps, then he or she can succeed in America. For Black America in particular, since the former is impossible, then one can reasonably assume the latter is an impossibility as well, and therefore the original intent of the system of racism is sustained without accountability.